It's dedication, commitment, emotion, exhaustion. Jerry Lewis's Labor Day Telethon is a massive effort. Lewis himself has spearheaded the telethon year after year, never tiring, never giving up. And a current affair was at Jerry's side as he candidly opened up his private life and thoughts leading to the telethon itself.
The whole alpine system. Hey, Craig? It's the whole alpine system. Speakers, the heads, the whole thing. Hi, Craig. Jesus Christ, how are you? Wonderful to see you. Hello, Bill.
Yeah, Laura.
Hey, Chisholm, did you break?
Just broke for
Lunch.
Lunch. Who's up there?
We must say hello to the
They
Ranger
said
Reds.
lunch. Oh, yeah, the girls are up there, yeah.
Okay. No, they're coming down.
Oh, all right.
There's the Rangerettes, my God. Hi, kids. How are you? Are they cute or what? Do you realize the trouble we could get in?
They're all going my room.
I know that. That's what I was afraid of. Stay away from this lecherous old man here.
No, they like it. They like it. They told me. But the Queen Mother,
How was the rehearsal?
splendid. When are you going to show up?
Later.
Be sure.
Okay, we'll just,
Very.
you guys could just go on in there.
Don't worry, I will. Eric, you saved my life.
Your lines there yesterday.
I can't believe it.
So big. Where is he shooting from?
The point is, if you understood lenses, you would understand the camera placement is different here than it was at Caesars, right? Now I can move cameramen at Caesars to places that are very much like this.
Yeah.
I can't get my cameraman closer than 30 feet away. Therefore, you need a long focal length lens to get that same feeling. Hi, John Long. You need, what that lens gives you is like the guy is
Right there.
3 or 4, 5 feet away, and it doesn't have that look of long focal length.
Yeah. Good.
You know, you can take a 6-inch lens and have somebody walk from that trailer to here, and if you're looking through a reflex camera, the guy's walking for about an hour and 16 minutes.
Right.
You put a 35 millimeter on that camera, and the guy gets here pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know, it's natural. So it saved us because nobody had it. But you're not getting anything in return.
I got to get that lens back. That's
No, that you'll have. That you'll have. Hi, Candy, baby. Hi, kids. Look how thrilled they are when they see me. Look at this. Look at the excitement. My trauma room.
That's good. That's big amount.
The little one goes in the Coke bottle.
Or the little one goes in a Coke
But you
bottle.
have to take it out of here and
Oh,
put it in
this
there.
goes in your mouth,
And this
right?
goes in your mouth.
And what do I do with
That you
this?
can talk on it, you make noise on it, look, and I just,
Oh,
right, you've got it face.
Jesus Christ, how have I gone through the show so far without this?
Joey. I didn't have the phone.
But I didn't.
Here, Penny.
Things are so hectic. Hey, Georgie.
Ooh.
He does.
That's right.
Hey, that gives me one less heartache.
Yeah.
JL?
I'm happier about it. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Jerry.
Talk to me, sweetheart.
Yes.
I'll just leave that behind.
Eileen, is Dr. Helpman around?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, I gotta be there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use you 350 to 5.
Okay.
I want you to get him up to me at 350, 350. Upstairs? Yeah. You sure he's up there?
Huh? You did?
God, I love it.
I knew I needed some bread for the egg salad. That would have
You're
been
gonna lose your
hysterical.
practice hanging around with us, you know
And if
that.
I had only known, I would have filled it with egg salad.
No, you keep it away from Greenberg, he'd eat it.
Oh, hi, with food in your mouth as usual.
Let me see what the note is. Penny,
You,
call Sam and tell her to make a note. Or you give me a note to bring a noisy eater for Tom.
noisy eater for Tom, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a
All
couple
right,
things.
music, Claudia, what'd you say music was? 350?
I'll remind you, 350.
Yes, 350.
I got
All
a
right.
couple of things, boss.
Yeah, Ed.
Hey,
Okay. Will you give me a prescription? Sure. I'm always running out of it, and I'm gonna need it this week. So let me have it. They usually send me like 8.
20?
Yeah. Hey, give me enough so when we travel, we have it. Who needs Montezuma's Revenge before showtime?
I'll be back in 15.
Okay. No, you go ahead. Go ahead, Tom.
He's got me.
I got time. No,
It's like,
what I want to do, see, I have to open the song up. And before you know it, it's 4.5 minutes. We don't have it.
are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd love to do it because it's such a nice
I'll make room
idea.
for you, boss.
I know.
It's lovely. You know, it's
Like that.
special.
The only thing that's needed is a high stool to be out of the shot. And we hang what appears to be a mirror.
You want little bulbs in it?
Yeah.
Little,
But in order for me to do the
but it
makeup,
appears because it's empty, right? There's no mirror in
but
it.
I need the mirror here that I can really see it. See?
Okay.
It's a little tricky. Let me talk to Mitch about it.
Okay. And credits. You know, we're going to end up with if we do them just at the end. Even though I've cut a lot of people.
Yeah.
Can I do 2 hours worth? Otherwise, it's going to be 5 minutes, and we're going to cut into the locals.
Let's cut the credits.
I'm whacking away at it. Let me do them first. Okay, and
Let's cut
because I
them
got to
all.
get them on your. Well, let me do them and then give it to you. Okay, and then
Let
you
me
cut
do
it.
the executive credits.
you
No,
cut.
you ain't gonna. No, you ain't gonna get me to cut anybody's
Okay.
name.
All right, I'll cut. Well, thank yous will. I have blanket thank yous that I think will work. But
I tell you.
well, let me
what.
do it once, and then you look at it, and then we'll see what goes. Okay.
What
But
about?
I already have whacked everything out.
Here, let me show you something. What if we do this and put it like this, and let me talk through the roll. I can thank these people that you're seeing on your screen that were running fairly fast, and tell them the kind of work that these people put out, and that my thanks and my gratitude on behalf of MDA and my producer Tom Words, etc., for all of these people that you see, and we'd love to run these credits slowly so you see each and every name, but they all know who they are, and let me combine that. So that when I get through, the credits have rolled, and I've done probably a nicer thing than we'd ever do with just rolling credits.
Okay. Well, we have one last thing.
Yeah.
So that I don't.
So you weren't going to say surprise me, were you?
So I don't surprise.
Shit.
I have a few I've saved up. No. Once you see memorials, you're going to have to. I don't want to. He says, cut to it. You know.
Wait a minute.
I don't
Just
see-
cut to memorials.
And I said, oh, you can't do that.
Have you seen them?
No.
All right, let me tell you what it is. It's
All
a
the,
it's a
you must
script.
know everybody that I started with during profiles 7 years ago.
They're gone, I know. He's got a role that says, we want to pay our respects to those lovely people that are no longer with us. Well, it's there, so he's thinking, what's the intro necessary if it reads that on the screen?
Yeah.
So I know what he means about a straight cut, but it's still cold.
I know, you.
It'll only take me 15 seconds.
But I just, you gotta get to see this.
No.
Okay.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, please watch something that we all heard a little bit about. Or please watch something we know will affect you. That's all it takes. It's not even 5 seconds. Okay.
But I won't write anything. You'll just.
No.
Okay.
Just let me know it's a memorial and I'll go for it.
Okay.
Hey, Robert.
Okay.
How are you? Hi, Donna. My son, Scotty. When did you arrive yesterday?
Yesterday.
Did you get me that information?
That's what I did.
Okay.
That's what I did. And
Thank you, Scotty. It's going to help a lot.
Same card, it's faded from last year. The lights are on, it's so a lot differently than they were last year. Too, so they won't
I
have
know.
the same
I
angle.
went over budget like I can't begin to tell you.
So Jerry, about that, if you see any dialogue that comes across your desk that you want to start.
I'm going to be checking I'll be proofing all night tonight.
Okay. You know, you can call us anytime if you need anything.
Okay. Thanks, Scotty.
All right.
Afford it, yeah. I'll chip in.
A little nerve is a perfect 20 for us.
Okay, well, hold it, they're coming on the back.
Hi, cutie.
Is that Joy's sister? Is that Joy's sister?
That's Kathy Giovenco.
Oh, okay.
John Giovenco's wife. I would never hurt you. I saw you hiding there. You're too fucking small. I'll talk to Packy about it.
It's rough on you, Ralph.
Jesus fucking Christ. Light them all. Go ahead.
Not a bug.
Light them all.
No, colors, effects.
1, 2.
Hello. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my favorite rose. Da 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 dum.
Now walk this.
Da da dee 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 dum. Da da do da 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 dee dee do 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 da da dum. Da 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 dum. Da Merry Christmas to you. Maybe. Can you hear that okay? We're giving out trusses this year. Everyone will get a free truss. What happened? Another trauma center. Beautiful. Okay.
We'll just make it happen. It just flows. If you remember, it just happens. There's no. The thing is, you come out, guys. It's a great act.
Yeah, wonderful. You guys are wonderful.
But that's got to be impossible to do.
It's impossible. Yeah, there's no way.
As a matter of fact, I think you could do it.
I can do it.
How do you? Then we get into
You're gonna support all your weight with this one here. There you go, like that.
All my weight where?
I mean, all my weight.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
This is what we want from you, Jerry. This is you. Look at my legs.
Gotcha.
That's it. That's all.
I got
You
you.
did. You just had surgery. You were weak. What you gonna do? Remember?
Yeah.
You were weak. I'm gonna rest my whole arm
Okay.
against you, my weight. So you're gonna lift
Go ahead.
go just a little bit back.
Go ahead.
You go up there. Go on top.
Whoa! Yes! That takes work. Oh my God!
That's it. Piece of cake.
If you trust me, I'll be there.
Ow!
Come, I gotta go to music. See you guys later. Hi, gang.
Hi.
Hi, kids. Hi, Chris. Now I see where you hang out. I can't get through, son of a bitch. Oh,
It was clear there before.
Hi, Janet, baby. Blow it out of your ass, Jimmy. Hello, Chips.
Watch, we got cameras in the back.
Okay.
Is this a par 4 or 5?
We're going,
Would bring anything up with us? Notebook or anything?
oh, look what I'm facing. I got an ice cream sandwich coming. Hello, sweet cheeks. How'd you know I was coming here?
I didn't know. I was coming up to see Claude. I'm just waiting on Claude. She's going to get her stuff and coming back up.
Me! Ask Sam. Ask Sam if I could have it. She's got a place for a hot dog that's like that.
If I tell her, if I ask her, then you already have one.
When have I ever had one?
Oh, okay. So how'd you know it was like that?
Take a vote.
Take it. All the strings here. You want to? Went as far as with the piano alone. Went up to 2 bars before the you know, where the rhythm goes in.
Yeah.
No, it sounded good that way. We'll leave it up to you. We do the old entrance, or we can do this new way. Just whisper it, like you don't have to do it regularly.
I won't do it.
Huh?
I won't do it.
Just, you know, like soft, so you can know that you're on track.
Go ahead.
Martin, give him the fan. Fan. Oh, I'm sorry. 79A. 79A. Oh, you can have this one. Give me a bite of this.
Walk the hall. My father was killed in Auschwitz. He fell out of the guard tower. Now he's walking away and he won't hear us.
I'll hear. Go ahead, I can tell by the changes.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark.
You see that? It's gotta be. It's not sure. I told you in 2.
It's getting closer to who was wrong last year each minute.
What? No, we want to do it that way.
There was no time there, Lou. He stopped.
Huh?
Jerry stopped.
I'm doing it 40
Whatever
years.
he did would have been wrong. He stopped.
Now we got a little nepotism going.
Don't fight, boy. Don't fight.
He stopped.
You gotta bring in the inner voices a little louder. I don't hear you. The inside voices.
You know what else? Your car is parked too far right.
Take this, motherfucker. Go.
worst.
Martin, you really fucked that up. I got to admit it. With rehearsals, you're doing it good, and now all of a sudden you're scared.
What
or
are you playing the medley? Why are you playing the melody? The vamp is not the melody. What are you playing? What's written there?
Da, 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 da.
And when I start, you play the melody?
No.
No.
But just follow
Do it
the chord
again.
changes.
Go
Do
ahead.
that A in the bass.
Yeah, I started to play the melody, but you stopped singing.
Well, because when I hear you play the melody, you're featured.
I see. Nepotism. I wanted to help Lou out. Okay, fuck him.
He said it's nepotism. I wanted to help Lou out. Let me tell you the danger. Even though we did it right before, this is what threw me last year, because it feels like it's moving too swiftly, and I'm coming in with when you walk through a storm. But listen to now play what you just played before. It's got to be slow. You have to play it slower.
Do it real slow.
No, don't change what you were playing. Just play it slower. That's it. Right. And it'll be comfortable for everybody when they come in.
Except then.
When you walk through a storm, keep your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. That's what happened last year. The vamp was too fast, and I'm coming in slower, and then I got lost. It's got to be played that slowly, Martin.
Make those changes. That A in the bass.
Don't worry about changes. If the tempo's wrong, you're not going to hear the changes anyhow.
4 in 4.
I don't care if you change the figures, that's okay, but you cannot play it too fast. We've never rehearsed this in 40 years, because I just never do.
You made the point now, I understand, but I'm going to change it just a little bit. Let me just go like this.
Hey, play C7s for all I care. Just keep that tempo. Da 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 dee dum da 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 dum ba da da dee da 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 ba da da da. Now I can take the tempo and we can move the tempo the way we want.
Once that we get past that beginning, now you want to leave that.
Now I'll play the track for you last year. It was double speed. He played it double speed, and I couldn't catch up to him. And then I tried to pull back, and I was gone.
Here's what happened last year. He played that da 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 da. You went da 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 da.
Yeah, because he was playing it so fast. And I tried to stay with him. I sang it double time. Yeah, right. I sang "When You Walk Through."
Right. True. I know.
But that's what got me crazy.
Yes. You weren't even there. He's saying yes.
He's a friend of mine.
But now, in case
I'll stop. Just that's
really like
the
back
tempo. I don't give a fuck what the figures. It changes.
Which one's headlining this year?
Go ahead.
Da dee dum, da da dum, la da 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 dum, da dee da 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 do, la dee dum da da dum, la dee da 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 da, la da 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 dee da. here's the key, baby. No pun intended. Now, I'll play the tape for you, and you'll hear this. I wanted to stay with the piano player. There was no way I could pull him back, and I threw everybody.
Well, I understand, but I'll tell you,
I wanted him back this year just to kick him in a ball.
well,
Blame
But
Walter Schaff. He wrote that thing.
He wasn't available.
no, but I understand. It's just slow. That's
Martin, your life is hanging by a thread. Tricky bastard. Oh!
No.
You got stuck.
Are you all right?
I'm all right, yeah.
So dinner is definitely 8 o'clock or plus.
Hey, you got Dick Hames's music?
Old Man River, that old man river. I'm as restless as a Gentile in the men's room. Where's Rita? Anyone see Rita? 2, 3, 4. Remember Jackie Moran, the little kid actor in the movies? Anyone who knows that like this looks like Jackie Moran? Come on, let's stop cocking around for Christ's sake. Oh, how we danced. Go ahead, Louie.
Ready? Likely, all right?
Is this one on? Is this one on okay?
Irving says he can't hear. Irving.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each year I think of how to start the show, to keep you here, to let you know. No words can tell how swell you've been. Because of you, we've just got to win. Each year it's clear you're here, 'cause you're the best. With me, what I'm about to say may be long overdue. I do love all of you. Yes, I love all
get to that note no matter what.
What's the next one?
till the frost is on the pumpkin, as they say. David. How are you, David? No. I don't tire, not until Monday around 5 Pacific Standard Time, I start to tire. We can call Mikey Neufeld tomorrow, like around noon. He's home. No, he's home. Oh, I thought you said he's in the hospital. Is that a boy chick? You will admit that he's some boy.
Hundreds of kids every year, dystrophic kids. You get to know a lot of them personally. You call them up on the phone today. What is it like for you to know them? And then what does it do to you when you lose them?
When I lose a dystrophic child, or one of my kids, which they, by the way, chose to be called, I'm wrapped for that too, my kids. they also chose Never Walk Alone as their theme song, and I did it for them. But when I lose one of my kids, I feel a void, and I feel like I am not doing the job. Then when I have a moment to reflect on it, I turn that into positive energy. I get angry. I get very angry. For example, there's a chairman of the board of an important corporation that was giving me iffy answers about a project that I wanted to work on that would enhance the research in a certain city in this country. I was allowing him to procrastinate. I was allowing him to put me off somewhat. Then I lost little Eddie Brooks in Atlanta, Georgia. Eddie was 11 years old. I was shattered, and then I got angry. The day that it happened, I called this CEO. I said, I want to see you tomorrow. I will fly to where you are. And he said, okay. And I flew to where he was, and I walked in on him, and I said, we've been batting the ping pong ball back and forth for 3 months. I'm leaving here one way or another. I will disrupt your company with the worst kind of gossip that you ever heard in your life, or you're going to become one of the great heroes since Patton. Now, which is it going to be? And we talked, and I walked out of there with enough money to build a research center in a city in this country that I'm very proud of, that's gone up with this man's help out of anger. Now, it doesn't always happen that way, but that one worked. Anger for things that will happen Sunday. You know it can happen technically, but I am the closest thing to that crew. I'm closer than their breath because I have a respect and a love for my crew and an understanding and a knowledge of what they do. I can do most any job any of them do, and I know what they are going through. If something goes haywire, which it will, I have to turn that, damn it, into positive energy and rise above it and be stronger, which the audience doesn't need to see. It doesn't help them to know that I am a human being with foibles and attitudes and angers, and you can't recover when you do that. Today, if something goes wrong, I'll turn it into positive energy. I'll do some kind of gag about it, make my crew member feel better about it, and the audience will never know whether I'm really having a problem or not. So it's all positive. This way is better. Positive energy. I sound like Norman Vincent Peale, for Christ's sake.
You do. How long have you had this attitude? Has it always been this way for you?
No. As you get older, you get wiser. As you get older, you look back, and I'm a born reviewer. I look at material over the years. I like to look and see the work that I've done. I don't go back too far, but I do like to look at the material, and I like to look at attitudes. I remember in 1978, I was cleaned out. I was a Percodan addict, and I was in very big trouble for a number of years. I blew the whistle on myself in People magazine because I felt I could help other people that were in the same trouble. So I wanted to review what I looked like in '77. Could you see it in my eyes? I was taking 13 Percodan a day. I mean, I'm talking about heavy-duty, world-class addict that came from prescription drugs because I had injured my spine, a pain that I live with every day of my life. Still live with it. When I put that tape on and looked at '77, holy Christ, I didn't even remember doing that telethon. I didn't remember, there's a period between '73 and '77 that's black. I don't remember making the 4 films that I made, the 5 telethons. I don't remember the 12 weeks that I appeared at the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas. I don't remember the Royal Command performance for Her Majesty and the family. I don't remember my opening or the 15 concerts in France. I remember nothing from 73 to 77. So I like to look at those years and see what that man was. How did he get on that stage? But by God, he performed. He did it. When you're performing since you're 5 years old, which is now 58 years for me, you have a know-it-all and a tremendous ability to rise above stuff, which is what I was doing in that period. That's the best editorial I can give you. I was rising above whatever the problems were, and the professionalism was carrying me. Mm-hmm. So I looked, and in reviewing, as I did the material, I helped myself change a lot of that conduct, because a lot of that conduct, even though I wasn't responsible, or he, Jerry, wasn't responsible for a lot of his actions, I sure didn't like a lot of the stuff I saw. And whether it was the Percodan or it was Jerry's attitude, one or the other displeased me. I made sure to fix a lot of that, starting with no longer being addicted, and secondly, fixing things that were really best for him, the performer, and the audience. I get letters from people sometimes that say, you should have challenged that guy that wrote what he wrote. Well, one year I did. I took off on the press and I really, well, this is not the platform for it. It was wrong. I apologized after the fact because I realized it was wrong. Everything I said was right. But this is not the place for it. So that was wrong. And I'm the first one to tell you I'm wrong. You know why it's easy for me? Because I'm going to be the first one to tell you I'm right. Now, before you can do that, you got to do the other. People will not take hearing from you that you're right unless they hear from you when you're wrong. Simple. Everybody will go with you. They'll go with you 100%.
What kind of changes do you go through emotionally and otherwise during the telethons? Just staying up to that sleep deprivation period and everything else? Well, it's a roller coaster. That's what it is. There's highs and there's lows. My eyes are 360. I see everything happening in the theater, whether it's music is in place or it isn't in place. If I see a corporate sponsor making a move towards the stage prematurely, I'm catching that. My roller coaster dips and is now taking the high ride because he should have been in place. Now I have to fill so the audience doesn't know. That's a charge or a rush I have to give myself so the audience doesn't know there's trouble. That kind of, I see 2 or 3 of my kids seated in wheelchairs. I might see somebody push the wheelchair to make room for a camera. That tends to upset me. Watching a wheelchair getting shoved. That's back on the roller coaster. Now I'm on the air and I have to let the audience know that the next performer is going to really entertain them, and I can't wait to get down there to whoever it was that pushed the wheelchair to take care of that. Well, I can't let the audience know that. They're never going to see it. So you're on the roller coaster again. Now I'm looking at the wee hours of the morning and the tote board isn't moving. The phones aren't going. Now, unlike other telethons, you'll see any other telethon that goes on the air, the host goes to sleep around midnight. And they come back the next morning refreshed around 10 o'clock. That's not a telethon. I walk out there at 6 o'clock Sunday night, and I don't leave that stage until 22 hours later. Now, I am off during the cutaway to take a shower, change tux. That happens maybe 5, 6 times. Last year, we calculated I was off the stage, literally off the stage, showers and tux changes, 39 minutes. Is that a performer's dream or a performer's nightmare?
Oh, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. It's a commitment you've made. And I believe you either do a telethon or you don't. See, I call the others half-a-thons. You want to do a half-a-thon? Good. Start it, do 3 hours, go to sleep for 10 hours, and come back and do 6 hours. That's a half-a-thon.
Now, what is it like? What feeling do you get when you look at that final tote?
Well, the feeling is, remember, I'm looking at the final tote, like last year was $41,132,113, which is branded in my brain each year. See, I can't tell you what the number was the year before because that gets wiped out when the new one gets branded on. When I see $41,132,113, and I know I'm going to add around 50 million sponsors, corporate firefighters, letter carriers, and that night is representing about $100 million. Remember, it only took $2 million to open the Jerry Lewis Neuromuscular Research Center at UCLA. Only $2 million. I got it built and open with some of the top researchers in the field. And I'm looking at a board that tells me when I add my two figures together that I have just earned $100 million for my kids and for this problem. It's like being beamed up and you're spending lunch with Dr. Kirk. What was it? Dr. Spock and Captain Kirk. You can really, you're out of it. The joy of it, that you've succeeded or that you've done this. I especially, because I know where the dollars go. I know what they build. I know that we funded Dr. Kunkel at the Boston Children's Hospital in Boston. And through the millions of dollars that it took for us to fund him, he came up with an answer that has been a mystery for 5,000 years, which opens the door to finding the cure. That's how I feel.
Is it easy to fall asleep after this?
No, I usually have a production meeting after we go off the air. I'll rap with my crew for anywhere between 3 and 4 hours, talking about what we can do to make it better. My next production meeting is only 6 weeks after the show's over. The first production meeting for the next year is like the second week in October.
Then it starts all over again.
You bet. It's the only way you can sustain. There's a reason we're number one. And there's a reason why we're able to do what we do. It's not slick. It's not straight cut with Editech, commercial, sponsor, Hollywood, Vegas. Half of them are doing the things that we have created, that we have, as the originators, have stopped doing. But just with it all, you have to do the best entertaining show you can. That's the most important thing, is to entertain the people and inform. Now, most of that audience is going to tune in Sunday night, is going to want to know how we're doing. And our scientific research people have really put together the kind of information that I think is wonderful. I'm proud to have it on the program because it tells the people stuff they want to hear and they want to know. There's a lot of people that send their 20s and their 50s and their 30s and their 10s or 5s that would like to know what's happening with it. And we're going to give them information that's so exciting, so marvelous, that I can't wait for that, because that gets them up. They want to. The wonderful thing about it is that I have found that people react like, I want to do more. If that's good and it's cooking and it's working, I want to do more. But if you went in front of the audience and said, we're in deep trouble, nothing has happened with all of your help, they wouldn't help you. It's like, well, that's a lost cause. Let's get on to something else.
You've made a lot of progress in the last couple of years.
Yes, tremendous progress. In the last 2-3 years, we've made 3 inroads specifically that are just far too complicated to get into and do it briefly. But one has, like a lie begets a lie, a research piece of information begets a research piece of information. And the wonderful thing is that our people communicate. And we do tremendously important research seminars, pathology seminars, medical seminars, scientific seminars. We bring these people together, and I get all of the sponsors that help us all year long to pay the tab. It's wonderful. And they exchange information, and that's how answers come.
Now, through all these years, there's been one question that people always have asked, and there's been rumors about it, and you've never answered it. I don't think you're going to answer it now. But why do you do it? What made you start it?
I just have to do it. Something personal happened to me. It had nothing to do with any of my children. None of my family were ever afflicted with this disease, which is why most people do those things. But something personal traumatized my life in 1949. And I have told people for the last 40 years, the important thing is not why I do it, but that I do it. That's the only answer I got for you.
How did you invent the haircut?
What? Invent the haircut? You mean crew cut on the top?
Your haircut.
Look at his.
It's the inspiration.
Did you copy my haircut?
When I had it shorter, I worked on it.
Well, it probably happened because I cut it myself most of the time. When I get way down back here, one of my assistants cut to make it straight. But I hate sitting in a barber chair. I never have time. So with thinning shears, I thin it, then get it neat, nice. But in the morning, I look like a porcupine. Always look like a porcupine.
You know, another thing, you know how to make an entrance. Do you do that every morning? What we saw yesterday in your car?
Oh, anything to get them up, to get the crew up. You see, what the crew knows is, I'm not just driving into the facility with a loud radio blasting, announcing my arrival. They know that's not what I'm doing. They know damn well what I'm doing is that I care for them, and I want to give them a laugh. I am going to the trouble of opening the windows, blowing my own ears out of my head so they could hear this jazz. They know I've done that for them, and that's important. Now, a stranger watching that would interpret that as, oh, here comes the big ham. He has to play music for his entrance, and you know. I can't think that way. There again, I have to turn that possibility of a negative into a positive. You saw all of my cue card guys working along the wall. They get the biggest kick out of it, especially when I drive like I'm going to hit them all. Give them a laugh, a chuckle. They know that I care about them and that I want to do something to let them know that. And they're very, very intelligent people. They know what you're doing. You can't fool them.
Same with the golf cart. You get a big kick out of that?
Oh, sure. Of course.
Does that remind you of the old days as a kid on the studio lot?
Yeah, at Paramount, I lived on the golf cart. I went from my office to the set. Christ, I spent most of my time on a golf cart. But here, it's such a huge facility. You know, there's 500,000 square feet here.
It's giant.
And walking it as many times as I have to make that move, just couldn't get it all done in the day.
Yeah.
So I enjoy the cart. My grandson loves it better than anybody.
The whole time we've been here, you've been nonstop. How is the pressure building now on you as we get closer to the telethon?
Well, I work well under pressure. Mm-hmm. I have always worked best under pressure. I write best when I'm on deadline. I perform best when I get to the dressing room. I got to get into my tux and get downstairs. I don't know why that is, but pressure has never really bothered me. Stress is a killer. Stress I can't handle. Now, the difference between pressure and stress, I think, at least in my own humble opinion, is pressure is what we all go through in our own respective work. Stress is when you are thrown into a working condition with incompetence, and they're not doing the job. You're working under tremendous energy, getting the things done that must be done. And the kind of stress that comes from someone who doesn't care, and that's why they're an incompetent, can give you chest pains. Chest pains is the beginning of going to the OR where they open your chest with a Black & Decker, like I have.
Which you know about.
Yeah, which I know about. So stress is what really slows me down. I had a perfect example of it today. My crew was working in the theater. There is an act that uses smoke in the act. I don't think it's necessary to blow everyone out of the theater in a rehearsal with that smoke, which will take us some time to clear out. And I told my crew, rehearse them without the smoke. They're not in their outfits. They're not dressed in that number that they're going to do come showtime. What do you need the smoke for? We know there's going to be smoke. The smoke has been checked. We've checked it technically, that the cameras will read it, lights can photograph it. Well, people are coughing and choking. They overloaded with smoke, and I could have saved them that if they just would have listened. They mean to listen, but they really think that they're doing the right thing. Then I get stressed. I have to walk in a corner just for about 2 minutes and talk myself out of the stress. And I'm okay.
Now you mentioned people that are incompetent leading to the stress. It seems that you're the one who makes sure that everyone that's working for you cares. You're in the middle of everything. You're the man who's running everything. You're the director, you're the producer, you're everything. What drives you all year to do this?
Well, I am part of a team. I have a marvelous director, Paul Miller, and I have a marvelous co-producer, Tom Wirtz. I have to have their undying and their unrelenting loyalty in this parcel. And the way you do that, you don't do that just by saying, how do you do? I'd like you to be loyal. You do that over a period of 10, 12 years. And I've had that good fortune of having these people for 10 and 12 and 20 and 25 and 30 years. I've got them to the point where they understand that I care deeply and desperately about what we're doing. I can't expect them to care as I do, but what I do expect of them is to just give it a shot. Try to open up enough so that you give me your talent while you care about giving me your talent. But when I see a technician look at his watch and yawn, that's a virus. That's contagious. That runs through the crew. Now, most crew members are very proud people. They're very, very proud of their creative output. When there's a member of the crew that goes, that's a depressant. The crew doesn't want to see that guy because it's catching. Yawning is catching anyhow. So he tells me he doesn't want to be here. So what I do is I pay him off. I pay him for what he would have earned had he worked the entire program. But the important thing is to get him away from the good, hard-working members of this company. Now, you don't make friends doing that, but I have wonderful people that take care of that for me. I'll go to Tom and I'll say, Tom, this guy hasn't done a day's work of any consequence, plus the fact he's injecting our wonderful crew with a virus. Let's get rid of him. It doesn't happen but maybe once or twice in the entire year.
Right.
But it has to be handled.
Does it help you to have your family around you?
Yes, yes. I feel very supported by my family, my puppies, my friends, my staff. There's a wonderful support group that I have that are all gone come Sunday night when I step into the arena because it's just me and the bull. They all sit in the stands yelling "Olé." They don't stop being my support group, but I can't touch them. I can't hug them. I can't have them as close as a child would like a parent to be when the child is uncertain. But they're there. I know they're there. And it's a wonderful feeling. And it makes you work with a feeling of security. It's like anything, you know, having people that care, are close to you and care about what you're doing. And now you're also trying to do the best work you can do for them to be proud of you. I'm going up to check Julie. I'll be back in 6 minutes. Jesus Christ. Why don't you get a clip that stays on?
Klondike was the best of all time.
No.
No, it's Eskimo. Notice I got your deep drop.
I'm okay.
Got my trouble and woe, but sure as I know the joy, I'll get along as long as the song is strong in my soul. I'll never know what makes the rain go away. I'll never know. I only know
A whole year is getting caught on all my shirts.
there ain't no love at all.
A whole year.
Without a song. I have got my trouble and woe. I'm sure I know that God will know. But I'll get along as long as the song is strong. I'll never know. They'll never know what things they do grow up. I only know there ain't no love at all without a song. Without a song. I only know there ain't no love at all. Without a song, my day is long.
Your song is long.
And things go wrong without a song.
Jingle all the way. Hey, Jack.
Have him wised up, right? You hear that? You sing good, man. Hey, when you got it, right?
Joe. 7, 8, 9.
Rhythm section was ready. One, two, without a song. They need it again.
The only reason I need it is I don't have the lyrics. Get the lyrics, it's transcribed. That's the only reason I need it again.
One,
Go.
two, one.
Get it right. Do it. You do it.
Yeah, the day I knew how about me.
Without a song, the day will never end.
Without a song, the road would never bend.
When things go wrong, a man ain't got a dog. Friend, without a song.
That field of corn would be deserted now. That field of corn will never see the plow. A man is born, he's no good no how.
Without a song.
Catch it, got my trouble and woe, but sure as I know the Jordan, it will roll, but I'll get along as long as the song is strong. I'll never know what makes the rain fall.
Make sure you put the
Spurts, spurts, always.
I'd have given him $50.
without a soul. But things and things go wrong without a soul.
Wait!
Was there any doubt of what just like that?
Who wrote that song? Joe, do you clap throughout this? Because we... Yeah, we're going like this for about 4 minutes. I'd like to put a mic up there.
Days of wine, roses, and
There was nothing around here. Here.
Hi, Ace.
How you doing downstairs? Come, I'll give it to you right now.
Backstage, look
Did you ever hear him do the Italian version of Farmer? Yeah. I love that. Louis, I'm going to empty out part of my body. I was going to pee in a phone booth, okay? Yeah. Okay.